Genshin Impact is a game that was made to perfection with innumerable attractive husbandos and waifu. The game features an engaging narrative and impressive details. Since its release, Genshin has paid close attention to every aspect. But why is Genshin still seen as a stepchild of the Hoyoverse? Join me now in this video to find out why. Let's get started. 1. Both are 5-star characters, however, there are some variances. In addition to Genshin Impact, miHoYo has just launched another game, Honkai Star Rail. Let us begin by comparing what miHoYo provided to Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail players. The Genshin Impact player community, which has been with miHoYo for the past 4 years, has recently become exceedingly upset and angry. They wonder why miHoYo makes such a discriminance between the two games. At the end of 2023, both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail were nominated for the Best Mobile Game category at the Game Awards. miHoYo gifted Honkai Star Rail players a 5-star character, Dr. Ratio, as a thank you to players on this special occasion. After hearing this news, the Genshin player community hopes to get a present from miHoYo. Unfortunately, their expectations were not met. That's correct, they received nothing but disappointment. miHoYo also has gifts for Genshin players. That is Aloy, a character that even the most wealthy gamers cannot see 6R5 with. Unfortunately, this character is more of a bonus gift. Her name does not appear on Genshin Impact's official character list. When version 4.6 with the hide-and-seek game returns, you can use Aloy to cosplay NPCs, because when you play Aloy, hunters may not recognize you as a player. Returning to the primary issue, a question arises: why are they all free characters, but one side of the gamers is excited while the other is disappointed? Because Dr. Ratio from Honkai Star Rail is a really strong character. He can defeat several difficulties throughout the game. What about Aloy? This girl is probably excellent at taunting Timmy's pigeons, but she is completely useless otherwise. Not to mention, her weapon is unique in that it only functions on the PlayStation platform. Many players have argued on miHoYo's behalf that Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail are fundamentally distinct games. Genshin allows players to play with skill, thus, even if their character is weak, they can still complete the level if their skills are good. In contrast, Honkai Star Rail does the opposite. However, this argument is insufficient to pacify the Genshin Impact player community, as their dissatisfaction with miHoYo has grown over the last 4 years. Many people also stated that if miHoYo now gave them 3 characters, such as Furina for free, they would be able to relieve some of their rage. 2. 3 years of togetherness, 3 intertwined fates. Continuing the story from above, miHoYo did not ignore Genshin Impact players at the time. However, the truth is that the reward they receive is extremely meager. It enrages many players on both the public and other servers. Following the livestream for version 4.4, the Genshin Impact official Douyin channel's followers dropped from 11 million to more than 8.9 million. The reason for this is because of the controversy of only giving away 3 intertwined fate for a big celebration like the Lantern Rite Festival. miHoYo's stinginess has left us frustrated for 3 years. However, this year's issue has become more severe since several Genshin Impact players believe miHoYo is exhibiting evident partiality. Honkai Star Rail players are granted 5-star characters, whilst Genshin Impact players only receive 3 intertwined fate. While Honkai Star Rail rewards can be received by mail simultaneously, Genshin Impact players may have to wait up to 5 days before receiving their entire rewards. The issue reached a climax when many Genshin gamers believed Honkai Star Rail had more optimized features. Honkai has an event where you can receive 10 golden tickets every time the version is updated. However, Genshin does not. They are granted 300 Primogems each time they update. However, this number is insufficient and has no effect. At the same time, many people criticized miHoYo's cheese pairing because in the release version of Inazuma Mist Island, the number of remarkable chests increased abruptly but did not coincide with an increase in the number of Primogems. They believe that the 1600 Primogems that miHoYo thanked Genshin players before were Primogems taken from Misty Island's resources. Genshin players in China were so unhappy that they unfollowed miHoYo's Douyin channel at the same time. This resulted in miHoYo's Douyin channel losing more than 3 million followers, which continued to drop until the version 4.4 release. This collective indignation occurred solely in China and did not have a global impact. Many people believe that if players in Genshin's native country launch an uprising but fail, then it is meaningless for international players to do anything. Everyone hoped that following the insurrection, MiHoYo would be reasonable and devote more resources to them. But the reality is, MiHoYo chose a solution that left them even more disappointed. Silence is wonderful. MiHoYo then paid money to gain followers on their Douyin official channel. A fact, except for 3 intertwined fate, Genshin players received nothing more from MiHoYo. 3. The resources on the map are difficult to obtain. What is the most crucial factor for Genshin players? A good plot, gorgeous characters, or formidable weaponry? Primogem is, in my opinion, the most important of them. As an open-world game, Genshin Impact's world and landscape are well designed to pique players' interest in exploring. Genshin contains numerous good and unique mechanisms for each country, which correlate to each element. We can fly in Mondstadt, costume as Tarzan, and zipline in Sumeru, or spend the day as a dolphin in Fontaine. But how long will this exhilarating feeling last? At first, visitors were ecstatic to discover new mechanisms in new lands. The mentally tough riddles also delight many gamers the first time they encounter them. Even the smallest monsters perform highly amusing actions. All of these activities are quite engaging. But for me, receiving Primogem to Gacha Husbando or Waifu is even more enjoyable. I was likewise really upset with Genshin on this subject. High-end chests originally had only 2 Primogems. Even after the number was up to 5 Primogems, MiHoYo remains exceedingly stingy with Genshin players. A puzzle can only be solved and receive a reward once. The terrain in the game is also quite difficult, and the chests are well hidden. Although we have compasses to help us find treasure chests, they do not appear to work in the Sumeru Desert's caves. Not to mention, the chests can be found on any floor of the map. The light in the cave is low, making it difficult to view the chest. In many cases, MiHoYo hides chests by making their color match the background. Even standing next to the chest, you can no longer see it. The in-game compass can only locate outdoor chests. Many people tried incredibly hard but couldn't find them, and eventually discovered them located in very damn locations. This significantly degrades the gaming experience. Sorry, but I'd rather sleep and dream of the future with C6R5 Raiden. Honkai Star Rail allows players to see how many chests are on the current map, how many they have found, and how many they have not found. Genshin does not have this feature. If you want to find all the chests in Genshin, the best way is to watch tutorial videos on YouTube. 4. Spiral Abyss, endgame content, but too simple. Previously, during the first updates, Spiral Abyss was a nightmare for many gamers. However, Spiral Abyss is currently too easy for gamers. Even my sister, who has only been playing Genshin for 6 months, can get 36 stars if she carefully searches for artifacts and opens a large number of chests. I admit that Spiral Abyss is difficult for beginners. However, after players reach AR56, most can easily build 2 complete teams to play Spiral Abyss. The monsters in Spiral Abyss are not new, although there are some powerful bosses in Genshin such as Raiden Shogun and Zhongli's enormous toad. If your character is well built and has stats that aren't too high, you can defeat them. As you are aware, Fontaine and the Liu map have freshly updated mini-bosses for gamers to try. Oh, it seems intimidating, but reality reveals that up to 11 out of 10 players can win them easily, albeit with little work. MiHoYo now allows players to try out the characters that MiHoYo has built. I swear these characters have horrible stats, but they can still do a lot of damage in the domain. I think MiHoYo should do something to improve the challenge of Spiral Abyss, making the game more appealing. Even if MiHoYo could produce a few additional events, such as Legend of the Vagabond Sword, it would still be challenging for veteran players. 5. Feature updates are very slow. I'm not sure what MiHoYo is doing with Genshin. Given his vast financial resources derived from the blood, sweat, and tears of gacha addicts, and his staff of over 1,000 people, player recommendations and requests for necessary functions have been repeatedly rejected. MiHoYo is still updating Genshin, but players must wait a long period to receive what they need. MiHoYo has recently improved functions that they claim would improve the gaming experience, but you know what? These features should have been available from the start and have not been upgraded until now. For example, the stratified map should have been updated as soon as the Sumeru map was available because the desert caves are the most difficult obstacle to obtaining a large number of Primogems. For example, improve the character upgrade UI, update weaponry, reduce difficulty, and allow people to play Domain without completing the plot. I enjoy this update because it is quite handy for newcomers. In addition, we have automatic updates to select and lock artifacts while playing Domain. 6. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. MiHoYo decided to create numerous new and stronger characters, such as Furina and Neuvillette, as the old ones were increasingly antiquated. Some stages in the game, particularly Spiral Abyss, require the player to own that character to pass them smoothly. The new characters are constructed with great beauty and strength. Many players have decided to spend the money to buy them. Meanwhile, the old characters had numerous errors which MiHoYo chose to ignore. Yae Miko, the fox girl, is the most typical example. She had no troubles at first until MiHoYo altered her, making her level 2 constellations into a farce. Players had to whine a lot till MiHoYo rectified her as before. To keep the supporters from yelling, MiHoYo decided to offer them a lot of Primogems. Dehaya is undoubtedly the most tragic figure. Dehaya has been buggy for a long time, from constellations to gameplay, and even the way elemental skills function is buggy. And no matter how many players protested, MiHoYo chose not to fix this character. He excitedly analyzed. In short, Genshin is a great and unique gacha game, but MiHoYo treats it cruelly. If MiHoYo wants this game to last, I hope they prioritize player experience and optimization features. They should especially have a skip plot button. Now, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the Stranger Games channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Goodbye, and see you again.